A chainsaw is a saw that cuts with a set of teeth attached to a rotating chain driven along a guide bar. Most chainsaws today are used for cutting wood, particularly trees, and range from small electric saws intended for home and garden use to large lumberjack saws. In forestry, chainsaws have almost entirely replaced simple man-powered saws. The exact origin of the chainsaw is still up for debate. A flexible saw consisting of a fine serrated link chain held between two wooden handles was pioneered in the late 18th century at different times by two Scottish doctors, John Aitken and James Jeffray. They used their saws for two types of surgical procedures. Aitken used his for removal of diseased bone, and Jeffray to perform a symphysiotomy, which is when the cartilage is divided to widen the pelvis for childbirth. In 1830, German orthopedist Bernhard Hein invented the osteotome, which had links of a chain carrying small cutting teeth with the edges set at an angle. The chain was moved around a guiding blade by manually turning the handle of a sprocket wheel. As the name implies, it was used to cut bone. The first chainsaw intended to cut down trees was patented by American Samuel J. Benz in 1905, who called his device the Endless Chainsaw. Designed to cut down large redwood trees, the device was very large and had to remain on the ground. The first portable chainsaw was invented in 1918 by Canadian James Shand. This device would continue to be improved by others during the following years. German Andreas Still built the first electric chainsaw. American Joseph Buford Cox improved the design with the inclusion of the chipper-type chain. German Emil Lerp developed the first gasoline-powered chainsaw. And American Claude Poulin created the bow guide, which allowed the chainsaw to be used by a single operator. More sophisticated improvements to the chainsaw include chain brake systems, better chain design, lighter, more ergonomic saws, fatigue-reducing anti-vibration systems, and other safety features. Chainsaw engines are traditionally either a two-stroke gasoline internal combustion engine or an electric motor driven by a battery or electric power cord. To prevent vibration-induced injury and reduce user fatigue, saws generally have an anti-vibration system which is constructed in a similar way to an automobile suspension. Usually, each segment in the chain features small, sharp cutting teeth, left-handed and right-handed teeth alternating in the chain. Built into each tooth is a depth gauge or raker, which is critical to a safe chain operation. The raker rides ahead of the tooth and limits the depth of the cut. If left too high, they cause very slow cutting, but if filed too low, the chain becomes more prone to kickback. Kickback is when a chain tooth catches on wood without cutting through it, throwing the bar and still moving chain in an upward arc towards the operator, which can cause serious injury or even death. Low depth gauges also cause the saw to vibrate excessively, which is uncomfortable for the operator and is detrimental to the saw. Like other handheld machinery, the operation of chainsaws can cause vibration white finger, tinnitus, or industrial deafness. Injury can also result if the chain breaks during operation due to poor maintenance or attempting to cut inappropriate materials. Gasoline-powered chainsaws expose operators to harmful carbon monoxide gas, especially indoors or in partially enclosed outdoor areas. Drop starting, or turning on a chainsaw by dropping it with one hand while pulling the starting cord with the other, is a safety violation in most states in the US. Special chainsaws have been developed to cut concrete, brick, and even stone. These use similar chains to ordinary chainsaws, but with cutting edges embedded with diamond grit. The chain is lubricated with water because of high friction and to remove stone dust. Stone dust left behind often contains tiny specks of the diamond used in cutting.